Students, welcome all of you. I am Sanjay Chaudhary, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering Department. Today I start the topic Power Transmission of the subject Basic Mechanical Engineering. Okay, this is the first lecture of Power Transmission, and in this Power Transmission topic, we cover the subtopics of this topic. First, introduction. Second, method of power transmission. Types of pulley, types of belt, terms used in belt drive, types of belt drive, length of open and cross belt drive, velocity ratio, tension ratio, centrifugal tension, power transmitted by belt drive, gears, classification of gear, term used in gear, types of gear train. This is the all subtopics which cover in this power transmission topic. ठीक? Introduction about this topic is have derivation and numerical. ठीक? ओके, इन सभी टॉपिक्स डेरिवेशन बेस्ड हैं और न्यूमेरिकल बेस्ड हैं. इन आरटीओ एग्जाम्स यू सी द क्वेश्चंस इन द फॉर्मेट ऑफ डेरिवेशन एंड numerical. If we discuss about ratio of the derivation, numerical and theory, then in exam you see 50% numerical portion and 40% derivation portion and 10% theory portion. This is the portion which divide in the R2 exam. Mostly numerical and derivation is cover in the university exams. So theory portion cover in first topics: introduction, method of power transmission, types of pulleys, types of belt, terms used in belt drive, types of belt drive. This is the theoretical portion of the power transmission. And further topics of the power transmission have the derivation, and on this derivation have the numericals which asked in R2 exams. First of all, start the introduction. From the word power transmission, this word indicates the transmission of power. This word indicates the transmission of power. Transmission of power. First of image come in mind is the transmission of power is the electric power. But in this subject, we not discuss about the transmission of power of electric power. In this subject and in this topic, we discuss about the mechanical power. Transmission of mechanical power. All of you transfer the mechanical power from one shaft to another shaft by the help of cycles. All of you, all of we drive the cycles, and in the cycle we transfer the mechanical power from one shaft to another shaft with the help of chain. This is the also a power transmission of mechanical power. Method of power transmission. There are various methods of power transmission. First is belt and rope. Second, chain. Third is gear. Fourth is clutch. We use the belt and rope drive used where the distance between the shafts is large and it is easy to bend. Belt and rope drive used where distance between the shaft is large and it easy to bend, which is seen in the bicycle in chain drive. In the bicycle, we use the chain drive. We transfer the power in the bicycle with the help of chain. Okay. And belt and rope drive and chain drive used in the where distance between the shaft is large and it is easy to bend. Gears used where the distance between the shaft is small and required constant velocity ratio. Gears are used where distance between the shaft is small and required constant velocity ratio, which is denoted by VR. Clutch, it is used where the shafts are coaxial. But in power transmission of in this subject, we only read the belt and power transmission by belt and power transmission by gears only. We do not study in this subject basic mechanical engineering power transmission with the help of chain with the help of clutch. types of pulley. For the power transmission between the shaft, we require the apply the pulley on the shafts. Suppose we have two shafts, one shaft is this and other shaft is this. For transfer the power from one shaft to another shaft, we require the apply the pulley on this shaft. We apply the first pulley and we apply the second pulley. Pulley is a circular device which is used to transfer the power from one shaft to another shaft. For transfer the power, we require the connect this both pulleys with the help of belt. Okay. For the pulleys, there are various type of pulleys we used in this. First is flat pulley, second is V pulley, third is cone pulley, and fourth is loose and fast pulley. Okay, this is the different types of pulleys, and in this subject we cover flat pulley and V belt pulley. We do not study the cone pulley and loose and fast pulley. Flat belt pulley. Pulley is a circular device which have the outer surface of the pulley is have the flat surface. It's called the flat belt pulley. We apply the belt on the outer surface of the pulley and we draw this pulley in the diagram in circular shape. In the circular shape. This gap provided in the pulley is for the shafts which used to insert the shaft in the pulley. This is the flat belt pulley. Pulley is belt is applied on this flat shape type. It is the belt. This is the belt which apply on this flat surface of the pulley. Okay. Next is V belt pulley. The outer surface of the V belt pulley is V shape. This is the also circular device, and we see the image of the outer surface. We have the V shape, and we fit the belt in this V groove like that. The shape of the belt of the V pulley is trapezoid shape. This belt is apply on the this portion. This V belt is applied on this portion of the V belt pulley. And we also use for diagrams the circular circle to represent the V pulley. Okay. Next type of the pulley is cone and step pulley and loose and fast pulley. In the stepped या cone pulleys, we have the more than one pulley on single shaft, and these pulleys make a cone shape. If we connect this, then the shape of the outer is the cone, so it is called the cone pulleys. These pulleys are used in the bicycle in gear cycles in the back wheel to change the speed of the cycle. This is the example of the cone pulley in the bicycle gear cycle. This is the driven pulley and this is driven pulley. And these pulleys are called the cone pulleys. Driver pulley is the pulley which provide the power to the pulley to drive the another pulley, and the another pulley which is drive by with the help of first pulley is known as driven pulley. In the loose and fast pulley, if we require the power transmission, sometimes transmit the power and sometimes does not transmit the power, we use the loose and fast pulley. When the belt is move on this pulley, then power is not transmitted to the this shafts, and for transmit the power from this shaft to this shafts, we shift the belt on this pulley. When belt is on loose pulley, no power transmission. When required the power transmission on these shafts, we shift this pulley on these shafts and power is transmitted. Types of belt. We discuss here types of belt according to cross section of the belt. Flat belt, V belt or circular belt, which is also known as rope. The cross section of the flat belt is a rectangular shape. This is the cross section of the flat belt. and the cross section of the V belt is trapezoid shape, and the cross section of the circular belt is circular type, which is also known as the rope. So rope is a special case of the types of belt. Terms used in belt drive. In this, first we discuss driver pulley, which is also known as driving pulley. Second, follower pulley, which is also known as driven pulley. Third term is initial tension, which is denoted by T note. Fourth is tight side tension, which is denoted by T1. Fifth is slack side tension, which is denoted by T2. Sixth number, angle of contact या angle of lap या angle of wrap, which is denoted by theta. This is the important terms which are used in the belt drive. For the power transmission from one shaft to another shaft, we first apply the pulley on the shafts. Okay, the power is transferred from one shaft to another shaft. We require to supply the power one pulley. The pulley in which we supply the power is known as the driver pulley. To transmit the power, we require the connect these two pulleys with the help of belt. For the power transmission, we required connect these two pulleys with the help of belt, which is flat belt and V belt also, and maybe chain, but we discuss here only belt drive. So we connect the these two pulleys is belt. These two pulleys, one is known as driver pulley and another is known as driven pulley and follower pulley. So question is, which pulley is said driver pulley and which pulley is said is the driven pulley? Power is transferred, which pulley is known as the driver pulley? Driver pulley. Power is transferred by manually and with the help of electric motor and other pulley which transfer the power from driven pulley is known as follower pulley. Yeah, other name is driven pulley and other name of the driver pulley is driving pulley. Driving pulley to supply the power. Which pulley which first supply the power is known as the driver pulley, the driven pulley, and another pulley which not supply the power directly and power is supplied by the first pulley is known as the follower pulley. And now to transfer the power, we connect the pulleys with the help of belt. If we connect the belt between the to connect the two pulleys, if the belt has the loose, very loose portion, then we cannot transfer the power from one shaft to another shaft. To transfer the power from one shaft to another shaft, we require the tight this belt on this two pulley. When we tight this belt on these pulleys and after tight and when we rotate the driver pulley and with the help of belt rotate the driven pulley, this provide tension in the starting to transmit the power is known as the initial tension in the belt, which is denoted by T naught. So initial tension is the tension which is required in the belt to transfer the power from one shaft to another shaft. The angle of contact is the contact of the belt on the pulleys is known as the angle of contact. From this diagram, we see that belt is contact on the pulley surface, outer surface from point A to point B. So angle of contact is when we B point is meet to the center and A point is also meet at the center and this is the angle made by the belt is known as theta angle of contact. So theta is the angle of contact. Angle of contact is the contact of the belt on the pulley, which is denoted by theta. From this, on this pulley, we see that from point C and point D is the last point where the belt touch the pulley. So angle made by this belt on the center of the pulley is known as the angle of contact. This is the angle of contact at larger pulley and this is the angle of contact at smaller pulley. This is the angle of contact at larger pulley. Initial tension is denoted by T naught. Tight side tension T1. Select side tension T2. Okay. Initial tension is the tension which is provided in the initial to transmit the power. When the starting the power, the tension on the one side of the belt is increased and the other side of the belt the tension is decreased. These are the two sides. This is the one side and this is the other side. In the starting, belt have the initial tension T naught in both sides. When we supply the power to the pulley, which is known as the driver pulley, and on the basis of the driver pulley, we decide the tight side and slack side of the belt. Suppose we supply the power this pulley in clockwise direction. So we supply the power this pulley, then this pulley is known as the driver pulley. And the another is known as the follower pulley. To understand the initial tension and tight side and slack side tension, in this we use the thing of friction force. We all of know that when a body move on the other surface, then between the surface friction force is applied. This body is moved in this direction, then the friction force on this body move apply on the opposite direction, and the friction force on the surface which is fixed have the also have the friction and which have the direction of the friction force in the same direction. Fb is the friction force on the body surface and Fs is the friction force on the surface. This is the body which move in this direction, then both surface, fixed surface and body surface which is in contact have the friction force. The bottom surface of the body have the friction force in the opposite direction of the motion, and the fixed surface on which body is slide or move have the friction in the same direction. Same thing is used in this belt drive to understand the tight side tension and slack side tension. In the first, we supply the power with the help of manual or electric motor. Then this pulley is start the rotating. When the pulley is starting rotating, then the friction force on the pulley is apply on this direction of the contacting surface, and the friction force on the belt of the inner surface is apply in this direction, and this pulley is remain in the rest position because we first supply the power this pulley, and this pulley rotate this direction, and the friction force of the drive pulley Fp means friction force on pulley and the FB is the friction force on the belt. When this force is applied on this direction and this portion is the in rest position, then initial tension T naught is increased and equal to T1. When this belt move on this side, this pulley is also in rest and pulley move in this direction, and when pulley move in this direction, then the tension in this side is decreased and equal to T2. Okay. Now this time we supply the power this pulley in anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So now this pulley is known as the driver pulley. And another pulley is follower. Now see that which is the tight side of the belt and which is the slack side of the belt. So to decide this, first of all see the rotation direction of the driver pulley. In this example, the direction of the rotation pulley is anti-clockwise. So first of all, in this belt, initial tension is present, T naught, both sides equal tension. When the start of the pulley rotation, the first of the portion of the belt move in direction. The friction force on the pulley is in direction, this direction, FP, friction force of the on the pulley surface, outer surface, and the on the inner surface of the belt, the friction force direction is this direction. So this portion of the pulley belt is in rest position, and this is increase the force in the belt this side. So initial tension is increased and this is T1 side, and when the belt moves this direction, the tension this side is decreased and this is converted into T2. In this also the lower portion of the belt is in tight and the upper portion of the belt is lower, but is not always true. In the next example, if we change the direction of the driver pulley, now we drive the driver pulley in clockwise direction. Now the initial tension in the starting of the power transmission is same T naught, but when they start the driver pulley, then the portion of the belt is moved first this portion. Friction force of the belt on this side, and the initial tension is increased and it is known as T1. And when belt is moved in this direction, the initial tension is decreased and this is known as T2. Now the tight side is the upper portion of the belt and low slack side is the lower portion of the belt. So tight side and slack side of the belt is decided by the rotation of the driver pulley. To contact me at my email ID sanjay.chaudhary@skit.ac.in and my contact number 958 7838 444. Thank you so much.